check on some things. Had a few technical difficulties, but nevertheless, let's do this. That's a whole lot better here. Let's do that. And let's go to content. Check out the live stream. We are live right there. And let's go to it just so I can make sure everything is good. Whoa. This camera looks absolutely awesome. But let's put this right here. Wow, man. That is so badass. Streaming with this thing here. Oh, yeah. Let's move it so I could see. Is that better? How you doing, Leshviga? How do you want me to say your name right instead of your username? But things are good, man. Number one in the chat, number one in the room. We are going to have all kinds of fun things happening tonight for this very late night Saturday. I was wanting to go on about an hour or half an hour ago, 45 minutes ago, but I just wanted to set all the stuff up to show everybody here just a little bit of the collection, I guess, to a point to where it's mostly Japanese, but some of it is Asian, just or Chinese too. So it's like Asia kind of a deal. But anyways, let's clip this off, and I will talk to you like so. And wow, this is really throwing me off. Let me see what I could do here. Let me throw that in the mini player. Would that work? Okay. No. I got to keep going here in this way, shape, or form. Apologies, guys. All right. Let's open up the chat a little bit more here. And yeah, there we go. All right. So, first things first. What happened today? So, what happened today was all kinds of stuff. First off, I woke up and Leshvika says, show the wish list of the missing Pepsi in your collection. Oh, I don't know if I want to do that because a lot of them are so unknown that most people don't even know exist. And I feel like if I talk about them, people will be searching and hunting them down and buying them before I can, and then try to sell them to me at a higher price. So that's a very dangerous. At this point, that's where I'm at. Most of the stuff that you could see online and find, I do have. Maybe I may not show it on camera, but I chances are I do have it. But I will tell you one that I don't have, and it's the final thing. There have been guys that have been collecting soda far longer than I have that haven't found this can either. So I'm late to the game and trying to hunt this thing down. But guys that have been hunting it down in the past are still trying to find it. Let's see. There are some that only have like 3 photos of them, like Pepsi, Lime, Lemon, that have only like 3 images in existence. Yeah, there is that one. There is Pepsi Limon, which was a Pepsi that was made and only sold in the United States in Mexican bodegas to appeal to the Latin and Mexican tastes from the immigrants that came from Mexico and were living in the United States. So it was only marketed there, and it was only out for a little bit. My buddy Maximus the Fourth kind of shed a little bit more light on that, but I always see it as just a variation of Pepsi Lime in general. So I don't really consider that too much of a wild and different variation compared to other flavors. But that is one. If I do happen to come across a bottle of Pepsi Limon, that would be cool. Pepsi Twistao, which is just another variant of like Pepsi Lime. I would love to get a hold of that. But here's the big one. This is holy grail type stuff. I wish I could show a photo, but right now we're just doing this. I want to mess up my hair a little bit. I look too much like Beaver Cleaver here. So I'm used to more of a scrubby kind of hairstyle, which I'll just I just got out of the shower. That's why it's very silky and fine compared to the usual. But here's one. I may have to get up to show you an example here. So give me a second here, ladies and gentlemen. Where are we? Where are we? If I could find the certain can here. There it is. Of course, it's buried under everything else. All right, here we go. All right. So this is Crystal from the makers of Pepsi. You see there? This can, which I thought was only sold for like 6 months, and this was the only variation, which it was only sold for 6 months. It was only on the market for 6 months, then it was taken off. This was a citrus version of Crystal Pepsi, which Pepsi released after Crystal Pepsi basically shit the bed and was discontinued. So they put this out in early of 1994, around springtime, I want to say. Uh, but there was another variation of this. There was also, which this absolutely blew my mind. So bear with me, hold on to your butts. There was a version of this that was diet. So the buddy that I talk to occasionally on Instagram that has a huge, insane, crazy and rare Pepsi and just all kinds of soda collection. He doesn't even have a can, but he showed me one photo of this auction that went off on eBay years ago, and it was the Diet Crystal from the makers of Pepsi, and it was a white can that had like a yellowish kind of color to it. I happened to track some more images down online of it, which is from the same auction, and I haven't. There's no commercials, showing it. There are no ads showing it, but there is that one photo which it isn't doctored. It actually exists, and that is the one and only other Crystal Pepsi thing that I don't have. That is the only thing. That is the can, the item that is keeping me from having a full complete Crystal Pepsi collection. I even got the LA Beast Crystal Pepsi limited edition bottle that only 60 of those are in existence. And you have to get them directly from LA Beast, which Pepsi made especially just to hand deliver to LA Beast, and he only got 60 of those, and most of those bottles he gave away to friends, family, but he sold 4 of those bottles on eBay last year, and I happened to buy one. And yeah, so I even have that, but the even more far rarer is the Diet Crystal from the makers of Pepsi. And I mean, that is, I hope to have that in my collection before I die. That would be awesome. Just to hold it in my hand would be something, what dreams are made of, basically. So that is on my wish list, is a can, bottle, whatever, even a magazine ad that shows Diet Crystal from the makers of Pepsi. That would be the ultimate thing on my list at the moment. Because everything else, I pretty much I'm happy to have. I have, a couple bottles of Pepsi Clear, which is absolutely insane to even imagine that I would have had a couple years ago, like so. But I even have a couple bottles of this, and I just see this, and I'm just like, meh, you're old news. But yeah, that is my short wish list. There are a few, I want to say, Japanese releases that I don't have yet. Uh, that I could say. Caribbean Gold, I do not have. I'm looking for that. And I think like tracking down this blue Hawaii and a Pepsi Red definitely were some nice feathers in my cap. There is also a Pepsi Nutmeg that was released in Europe, I think last year or the year before, something like that. And there is also a Pepsi Ghost and a Pepsi Dry. Yeah. And a Pepsi Black. There's a Japanese release. There is a Pepsi Black that is out as a zero sugar variant in Mexico. But yeah, that's basically my short list of things I still need. But for the most part, oh, there is also a yeah, it's a short list, but here let's go on and on for 8 more things. No, but there is also another variation of a Pepsi Gold that was released in Japan alongside of the Pepsi Red, which I do have. But I do have two versions of Pepsi Gold. So I kind of see that as I do have it, but do I have every release of that flavor? No, I do not. Shao Kahn, how you doing, man? Hello. Happy Saturday, yo. Um, before I got on here, I was talking to my wife and I was like, "Hey, you want to do a wife reveal video? Your face hasn't been shown on here." And she said, "No." I'm reiterating here. I'm putting a little extra shine on it, but she was like, "No." So, hey guys, I tried. Maybe sometime soon, but you know. Uh, anyways, maybe if I paid her $100 or something, maybe. There's some money involved. Hey, money talks. You know what I'm saying? Hmm. Having a little bit of this coffee keep me going here, and yeah. So this Saturday night, what we are going over, let's get into the contents of this live stream here and really break it down. The question of the day, the show in general, is now I want you to think about this. Think about this long and hard. I will repeat this question throughout this stream, but this is the question of the stream. What do YouTubers do that irritate you? Now, it's not going to hurt my feelings if I do some things that irritate you. Let me know. I'd rather know than not, so maybe I could correct my own BS, you know? But that is the question. What do YouTubers do that irritate you the most? Now, for me, for one, is someone wasting my time. I don't want my time wasted. So anytime I start watching a video and they will go in for like 20 seconds, they bait you in with all the images, they bombard you with images right away in the video. I mean, that's just a tactic that goes all the way back to the beginning of television in general, really, or movie trailers. You got to show a lot of stuff in 2 minutes to get the person in. But that's how it is. It translates into the opening of a YouTube video as well, to where let's, hey, got you in. Now, make sure to like and subscribe. And here's a word from our sponsors. And then they do like a minute and a half of oh my God, that is so irritating. Like, I get it. You're hustling. You're trying to make money. This is how you do things. I get it. But I don't know. Could there be another way to do it? And I don't think I'd ever get to that point to where I would do that. Unless a sponsor would pay me $1 million to do that in one video, then I would just be like, hey guys, yeah, hey, listen, I got to do this. I hope you respect it just so I could have the cash and then I can make a whole lot more YouTube videos. But yeah, that's a pipe dream. I don't even know what companies pay YouTubers to do that. But anyways, we will be getting into that. The question, what do YouTubers do that irritate you the most? And then I'm going to get into my day today. and we are going to get into fast food news, soda news, the rare Japanese soda collection, some fun facts about July, fun facts about brunch, the origins of brunch. It's between breakfast and lunch, it's brunch. And I don't know about you, I could tell you right off the bat that I'm not the biggest fan of brunch or breakfast food in general. Now, I've grown accustomed to some breakfast foods, but I know there are some people that will talk about McDonald's breakfast per se and be like, "Oh man, it's like, oh, you get so hooked. It's crazy. It's like smoking cigarettes or something. You just get hooked to it." And I'm like, "Really? Really? Nothing on that menu is really that great. Give me a I mean I could see with like a triple cheeseburger or something, but the breakfast? I just anytime I think of like breakfast food from a fast food restaurant, I think of a dry biscuit and a rubbery puck of sausage, like nothing too great. But anyways, I will say the hot cakes from McDonald's. Maybe it's just a nostalgia thing, but yeah, I'm fine with that. But anyways, yeah, brunch. We're gonna talk about that, and then there's also this that I want to bring up. We'll brainstorm together here, but this is Pepsi Blue, and I want to find out a way to start giving away my bottles of Pepsi Blue. So, it could be in the form of a game or on a live stream, or it could be something that is more like on a video and some kind of sweepstakes, or I spin the wheel, uh, you know, uh, have a carrier pigeon fly someone's name around and drop it in a toilet. I don't know what, but I want to find a way to where I could, have a little sweepstakes happening with Pepsi Blue. But anyways, after that, that'll be the end of the live stream, and we'll just have a good old time. So, anyways, back to the task at hand. What happened today with me? I need to put on my hat. My hair is really bothering me. There we go. Oh yeah. Uh, Selekshva. Gold Ghost Nutmeg, yes. Mojito, yes. That was like an Italian release or something like that. Cappuccino plastic bottle. Pepsi ice cream. Yes, there you go. Pepsi ice cream. That was another one I forgot. Yeah, Pepsi 1 plastic bottle. I think those are all the rare ones you remember. Pepsi Boom plastic bottle. Yeah, a lot of those like Pepsi Boom is pretty easy to find just in the form of a can. Now plastic bottles, yeah, I'm Crystal Pepsi is the only thing that I will try to hunt down every version of. Right now I'm simply on the hunt of at least finding an artifact of a certain flavor, regardless if it's a can or a bottle or whatever. But when it comes to Crystal Pepsi, I am hunting down every single thing that I could find. And that that damn Diet Crystal from the makers of Pepsi can is uh, that is it. I will still make a collection video of Crystal Pepsi and still call it the full collection because trying to find that one thing is it's I will include it in there. So it will be the full collection. I just won't have it on hand. So uh, that is going to be the next big video I've been trying to finish for the longest time, but uh, ever since I heard about the Diet Crystal from the makers of Pepsi can, I was sitting there thinking, should I wait to find that or should I still make the video? And I'm like, there's by the time I get that can to make that video, it's going to be 20 years from now, maybe, if not more. So I'm like, I'm just going to make the video. So that's why I was delaying that video for a while because I did a big sweep once I learned that it even existed and looked everywhere and I'm just like, ugh. excuse me. Is there a 20-ounce diet crystal uh, bottle in a plastic bottle? I want to say no to to my experience and my research. I've never seen one, but Crystal Pepsi is just one of those brands of soda that never ceases to amaze me. It's like I could go so far and think I have every single thing, and then boop, you know, a year goes by where I think I have everything, and boop, and I see something new, and I'm like, where in the hell did that even come from? Are the soda gods just messing with me at this point? I don't know, but I want to say 90. I'm 95% sure there is not, but yeah, don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. It is the most famous, but there are still some that are holy grail. When it comes to just Pepsi flavors in general, yes. I will tell you this. Let me just here's one that I feel like I'm gatekeeping, but this is still something that is just so absolutely crazy. There was a bottle that would let me look this up. I'm gonna look it up real quick, so I don't want to mess anything up here. Let me put this up. All right. Okay. So here we go. This is something called. Let me pull this up. So this is something called Pepsi Sparkling Rosé, and it was in a bottle as like any bottle of wine or whatever would be in, and it was Pepsi Sparkling Rosé, non-alcoholic. And when was this given out? 2019. There were 100 bottles of this made, and it's got like a transparent pinkish hue. It's in a bottle. It came in a box, and I'm looking at this article from Variety. NBC Universal is best known among advertisers for selling TV commercials. Now, the media giant wants to burnish its reputation for selling something that is only tangentially related on the TV screen. People who signed up for the company's BravoCon 2019 fan event, slated to take place between November 15th and November 17th in New York City, won't just get to mix it up with Real Housewives. Hear from the nighttime host Andy Cohen and sneak a peek from blah blah blah. Okay, what are we trying to do? Hotels.com will be woven into a brunch. State Farm is backing a she shed relaxation, and PepsiCo is bringing refreshments, including a special limited edition beverage, Pepsi Sparkling Rosé, a non alcoholic concoction meant to taste a little like champagne or sparkling wine. The event is to take place where superfans are all engaged, says Todd Kaplan, vice president of colas at Pepsi, in an interview. You want to play there, NBCU, blah, blah, blah. Okay, they talk about just more of the event. And let's see if they mention more about the Pepsi Sparkling Rosé here. BravoCon sold out in seconds, and attendees won't have to watch ads while taking part. Instead, they will be drinking and eating them. PepsiCo is also bringing Lay's Poppables to the event, Pure Leaf and iced tea brand, and special edition bottles while hosting a panel of Bravo producers. So they served Pepsi Rosé at this event, and they gave away 100 bottles, edition bottles. The Pepsi executive says that the new sparkling rosé is the result of work that involves various divisions of the company, including Pepsi's research and development team. The drink has caffeine, he says, and tiny champagne bubbles that create an interesting drink experience. Pepsi is issuing just 100 limited edition bottles of the stuff and will also offer samples at the event. So there you go. That is if that's another crazy thing. Uh, yeah, I mean, long neck bottle. I think they exist in both versions. 20-ounce bottles, I believe there are only two known to exist. At this point, I doubt there is even one in existence. Lekva, I gotta ask you something. You seem to know a lot more about a lot of this stuff than I do, which is absolutely insane. Now, I just want to know, like, are your is your collection are you a big collector? I want to know this because maybe we could wheel and deal on the side here. You may have some stuff with your knowledge about a lot of this stuff that I'm not even aware of when it comes to this Crystal Pepsi kind of stuff. I'm like, you are impressing me, brother. That's for sure. But yeah, that is another thing. I will grab here. Let me my get my ass on over here now and grab one of these bad boys. And where is the one here? There we go. There we go. Uh, so here's the one that caught me off guard like last year, which I thought never existed. It's Crystal Pepsi in a long neck bottle. Now, chances are I would have never even knew this existed anyways, just because it is a Canadian release. So that is the reason why I would have probably never even knew it existed. And I did a full podcast episode on the history of Crystal Pepsi, and that was before I even knew that there was a Spain release and a German release of Crystal Pepsi. So it's like I learned that after the fact, and I'm like, oh my god. But how was I to know? Like all the googling that I could have did back then, I still didn't come across anything until I just kept up with looking and collecting Crystal Pepsi, and you just find all this stuff on a whim. And that was the whole reason why I decided to do these videos and get into it because uh, I feel like it's something that needs to be brought to people's attention because there's so much stuff out there that people will remember, but there's no evidence of it. And somebody out there needs to, catalog it, tell the story about it to the best of their abilities. And, as more developments of Crystal Pepsi and just new things that I come across come to be, I got to update it. And I'm going to update it with a new documentary on the history of Crystal Pepsi. So that is what I'm also working on. After I do the Crystal Pepsi collection video, I'm going to rewrite the original podcast episode that I released in 2021, and I will, uh, yeah, just put it in video form. So, yeah, Crystal Pepsi is just crazy. So this is one of them that really blew my mind, and this one dug and knocked out the cobwebs in my head. Because most of the Crystal Pepsi bottles I did have were glass, and the label was like right here, and it wasn't vertical. It was all horizontal that I found, for the longest time. And then I just see this pop up on eBay. Boop, one guy, I think he was an older guy. The rest of the stuff on his page was just like old used car parts, but I guess he was like one of those good old boys that found this in a shed somewhere. He's like, "Hey, I'll throw it up on eBay, why not?" And I was like, "Whoa, I remember the bottle of Crystal Pepsi. I remember this with the vertical. In my head, I was thinking it didn't exist, and maybe it's just a false memory. But I'm like, here it is. It did exist. Whew. Knocked the cobwebs right out of my dark depths of my mind, and let me know, hey, it did exist. So this is the only bottle I found like this, and this is a 20-ounce plastic Crystal Pepsi bottle. Very hard to find. I've been trying to find duplicates of this, now, as I always try to collect two at the same time. But, anyways, so there is that. Let me check up with you, Lekva. I mean, I know a lot of things because for a long time I've had a fixation with Pepsi and soda in general. The rarest Pepsi thing I own is a glass bottle of 2016, which, as far as I know, is the only one in existence known because I have not yet managed to see another collector with one. A glass bottle of Crystal Pepsi from 2016. Um, I've seen one here for 2.5 years, one single can of Crystal Pepsi within my country. I've been here for 2.5 years to find one single can of Crystal Pepsi. Man, that is crazy, man. Uh, so a 2016 glass bottle of Crystal Pepsi. Is that true? Is that what you're saying here? Because that is absolutely. Oh, normal Pepsi. Okay. Whew. I was about to say, I have a lot more collecting to do if that was the case. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing I really do feel bad about for people outside of the United States. They really do get the shaft when it comes to a lot of soda releases. And I feel bad because you'll see them advertised, but it's only for the U.S. market, and you're just like, oh, what are you gonna do? To try to import that, it's gonna cost so much to do that. So I do feel bad. But then there's some things that only come out outside of the U.S.'s way, and I can't cry about that. I can't whine. Oh God, what? We get 15 soda releases a year, and they got one, and it's the one we don't. Yeah, so I can't whine and complain about that. But there is one non Pepsi thing uh, that I need, want, desire, and it's Pepsi Woza, or not Pepsi, Coca Cola Waza, which was like a tropical flavor of Coca Cola that was released under the Coca Cola Creations line last year, I think. It was a yellow can, and it was only released in South Africa and North Africa, and maybe in some countries and such. It was like a celebration for Africa. And so it's like a tropical flavor of Coca Cola. And I know a buddy of mine in Algeria, and he was going to mail me some, but he said he had to dump out the soda. He could send me the can, but he couldn't dump out the soda. And I should have been more selfish. I should have, but I'm just one of those guys, like, I don't want to put someone into a bind and hassle them and bother them. Hey, could you just go out of your way and ship me an empty can with your own money to me just because? And even if I would have paid them, for the shipping and all that stuff and the cost of the soda, but I just didn't want to put him through the bind because I know it would have been a pain for him to do that. So I'm just like, you know what? It's cool. If I come across it later in life, so be it. So I had to let Coca Cola Waza go. But that is the one Coca Cola Creations flavor that I never got to try. I did get to try the Coca Cola Creations that was Japanese exclusive. I forgot what it even was, but it wasn't that great. So, but Coca Cola Waza, that was something. Anyways, let's catch up with the comments here. Uh, Probably they have thought about manufacturing it somewhere in this world. There must be a Pepsi Crystal Glass bottle from 2015 to 2016, which fortunately was made for testing. Yeah, that is the big thing that is a whole different universe when it comes to soda collecting, is the internal flavors of soda that were never released. There are so many that just go through testing. They might get right onto the cusp of being released, but due to budget or other releases coinciding that may conflict it and really kill off a much larger release, it'll just get, it won't even come out. Such as Crystal Pepsi Zero, which was supposed to come out in 2023, but it didn't happen. Uh, I 2022 maybe. I can't remember. It's so long ago. I was hurt by this. But there was supposed to be a Crystal Pepsi release. It was 2022, yes. It was a Crystal Pepsi release in 2022 in the United States. And alongside the Crystal Pepsi release was Crystal Pepsi Zero. But it never happened. The release only happened in Canada. There was a release in Canada, and we're not counting the uh, winners, sweepstakes winners for the 30th anniversary of Crystal Pepsi. That was only given out to like 100 people. I do have bottles of that. 30th anniversary Crystal Pepsi. I'll show you what the bottle looked like here. All right, so here is a bottle of Crystal Pepsi 30th anniversary. It has a expiration date of May 6th, 2022. So the difference is it has a transparent label here. Looks really cool. But yeah, this was the last release of Crystal Pepsi from the United States, and you could only win these in a sweepstakes type deal. And ever since then, yeah, we were promised Crystal Pepsi Zero. Now, it would be so fantastic if we did have a test bottle somewhere. I know somewhere in Pepsi it's locked in a vault somewhere. But please, if someone out there is watching and your uncle is the owner of PepsiCo or a part owner, if you could be so kindly to just ask him nicely to get a bottle of Crystal Pepsi Zero and just ship it on over to Small Town USA, postmark DJ Glowing Ice, and I will be happily, I'll be a happy man. mm. I gotta sip down this espresso. It's late Saturday night. Thank you all for watching. We got some new viewers, which I will reiterate the question of the live stream right now. I want your answers to this because it'll definitely help me. The question is, what do YouTubers do that irritate you the most? Is it because they ask about liking and subscribing to your they ask you, they bother you about it, you know? Is it too many ads? Is it their face? Is it people that do faceless YouTube? Is it AI that is now apparently taking over the world? I like using AI. Like, I don't use it for much when it comes to videos because I feel like yeah, you know, you want real beef, right? You know, you want real meat when you order a steak. You don't want something that's animated. You don't want a cartoon steak. So, you know, that's why I try to bring the meat. I try to bring the beef. Where's the beef? From that old 80s commercial, you know. But you let me know in the comments below, what do YouTubers do that just irritate you the most? And like my homie here, Legva says, do to all this, you have cans of test flavors? And yes, I do. Let me show you. Back on over to my Crystal Pepsi shrine, and let me move some stuff around here. I'm trying. Hopefully, yeah, this is okay. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This can looks like just some crap can. Looks like trash, absolute trash, right? But this is marked September 7th, 2017. And this is a reference sample can from Pepsi. Not for retail sale. It's slapped right on there. Hopefully it's focusing on there. I'm on a delay, so hopefully that focuses in. Maybe pull this back a little bit so you can read that. Is it gonna focus? Is it gonna focus? I don't know. But anyways, date of manufacturing June 8th, 2017. Date of expiration June or September 8th, 2017. So it has a 3 month shelf life, and this is a test product can of Crystal Pepsi during its, let's see, 2017. That would have been the the fourth re-release of Crystal Pepsi, because there was the first one in December of 2015. Then there was the one in 2016 in the summer. And then there was a November or October 2016 release that was Amazon exclusive. And then uh yeah, the 2017 re-release. So this would have been the fourth re-release. So they were still testing and modifying the formula all throughout those re-releases. So don't think they just made one formula and that's it. They kept tweaking it. They kept refining it. And all they needed to do was just to take the caffeine out. Just bring it back to the OG Crystal Pepsi formula from the 90s and it would have been a whole lot better. But anyways, I rest my case. I could go on and on about the re-release of Crystal Pepsi and how they PepsiCo really royally screwed it up. But anyways, going back to Legva here, Mr. Beast ruined YouTube in my opinion. I mean, it had innovative content, but it created a whole generation of YouTubers copying that style of fast-paced and overstimulating videos. Yes, spoken like a true intelligent person that actually has a brain. Like, I remember when Mr. Beast was first popping off, and I was just like, whoa, he's doing a lot of really cool stuff that I think anybody that would have a dream about doing, like, oh, wouldn't it be awesome if I had a 100-pound candy bar? Wouldn't it be awesome if we went to a grocery store and just bought everything? He would make a lot of those type videos, but now everybody's doing it. I made a water park in my backyard for my 5-year-old nephew, and oh, it's gonna be the greatest day ever, and like there's like just the overinflated crap, and I'll just be watching that, and halfway like I'll be I will say guilty as charged. I will see these videos and be like, whatever, I'm kind of bored, I'll watch it, when I should be like reading up an article on something, growing my brain instead of shrinking it. But I'll watch it, and the payoff is never. At the end of the video, I watch all the payoffs, and it's just like, oh, yeah. Like, everything just falls flat. Like, I remember watching this video. This dude that it was his nephew's birthday, and he's going to build a water park in his backyard, and he goes through all this problems of inflating things. He gets a crew to come out to help him, and time is of the essence before his nephew comes over. And I'm like looking at this guy's house, kind of like with envy, because the dude is only like 24 and he has this mansion and the pool and all this stuff. And I'm like, damn it. Why couldn't I have started off with, something like that? And it's like, I think about it, it's like I'm a little older. Had I been born maybe 10 years later, I'd have a computer and such a great camera at my disposal for practically for free. But I watch that and it's just like, from the thumbnails to the oversaturation of colors in it, and it's just like everything. It's like it should be like a psychological study. How the human brain just kind of eats that up like eye candy, but it really doesn't do much. Like, it's very pretty. You know what I'm saying? It's like a hot chick. It's very pretty, but are you gonna get screwed in the end, and not in the good way? Possibly, most of the time, yes. But it's kind of like that. So I completely get what you're talking about, Legva. I want to put these Crystal Pepsi items back up before I mess them up here. There we go. Okay. So, I want to talk about my day today. We'll get through it pretty quickly. I'll give you the nice little highlights. So today I woke up and I had to go to the bank because my buddy James is going on vacation soon. And we do like a little gig, together. We get paid monthly. And he was, needing some walking around money before he goes on vacation. And I have to cash the check because it's in my name. So ran to the bank real quick, got the money out, cashed it out, so I could deliver it to him before he goes on vacation, like tomorrow. So he has the cash on him. And so go and get the money. And I just had this fat stack of cash. It felt good for the split second I had it, you know, before I gave it to James and Jimmy. And I decided to spread the money out on my arm and take a photo of it, like I see so many people online do. So many insufferable people that I just took a photo, like, yeah, look at me, I'm balling. So there was that. You got to have some fun with the money in your hand before it does get doled out to bills and whatever else. That's the thing that you should see, like on Instagram when people are flaunting their cash everywhere. It's like, yeah, that's your rent for this month. Let's not pretend that it's going to anything fun, you know. But I did that, and then there was the birthday party. So I went to a birthday party for my friend Jimmy's daughter. So that was fun, for a kid's birthday party. Got some pizza, birthday cake. Hey, can't go wrong with that. And then after that, I went to Hallmark, the Hallmark store. And I walked into Hallmark the other day, and they already have their Christmas ornaments already up. And they got a lot of cool stuff, believe it or not. You have me, dude, that looks like this going into Hallmark. Yeah, who would have thought? Surprises every day. So I walk into Hallmark with my wife, and we see all these new ornaments. And we always pick out one ornament a year. We always get a new ornament. Nothing too crazy, but there are some of these ornaments and things that Hallmark has that are like $150. You press the button and it has like a little train within this ornament moving around. Like it's so intricate, like it's absolutely insane. But we were looking, we found one ornament that looks like our tuxedo cat, our little cat that's playing on the laptop. It was for 20 bucks and we were about to buy it. But the ladies there at Hallmark were like, "Oh, you can't buy anything yet. That's tomorrow. You could put it on a wish list and we'll hold it. And then you could come back tomorrow and pick it up." I'm like, "Okay. All right." So that was a couple days ago. So we wanted the tuxedo cat. That's going to be our ornament for this year. Put that on hold, and today I drive up there after the birthday party and I pick up our little tuxedo cat ornament. Very cute, very adorable. Okay. And then after that, we go to GameStop because it's attached to the same plaza. Now, if you don't know what a GameStop is, it's a video game store basically that sells new video games, old video games, used stuff. And they've brought back some retro games as well for the Nintendo Wii and all that. And I have so many video games that I need to play already, but still, I will go into the GameStop and still hunt for something that catches my eye. Now, there's plenty of things that do catch my eye, but when a video game is over 40 bucks, call me cheap. I'm not ever gonna spend money on a video game that's over $40 unless it's like GTA 6 or something that's hands down is going to be amazing and you have to play it. But if it's just one of those games where you're just like, yeah, that's interesting, I'll wait till it goes down to 20 bucks and it's on clearance or if it's somewhere. So that's my take on video games. And, you know, I was in the GameStop looking around and I saw a few things, but I was like, ah. Walked out of the GameStop without a GameStop bag in my hand, no video game in my hand. I was very proud of that. Very proud. And so I think about GameStop, and I think about this one story that I haven't told yet. So here's my GameStop story and why you probably shouldn't have kids in the GameStop. Now, I don't know, 10 years old or younger, don't bring your kids to a GameStop. I'll tell you this story. Here's why. Last year, I was in a GameStop and I'm walking around, and there's this father with his two kids along for the ride walking around GameStop as well. And as the dad goes up to the counter and he's talking to the guy, his two kids are kind of like shoving each other. And I'm walking around this one kiosk. It's like a column that has shelves on four sides on each side. And I'm just looking around at the stuff. And there is this top shelf that has these tumblers of various, you know, designs of video game logos and stuff. These tumblers on the top shelf. And there really isn't anything that is keeping them from, like, you know, holding them in place besides just this little teeny weeny kind of thing at the edge of the shelf there, holding it, you know, up, little thing. Anyways, I'm standing there, just I'm not touching it. I'm like a foot and a half, 2 feet away from it. I'm just kind of looking at it, and I look away. And then all of a sudden, these kids are fighting, and the one kid shoves the other kid into this column, this shelf that had the tumblers on it. And it starts moving, and I look back, and it's like, and I see those tumblers, and two of them start falling off the shelf and smash onto the floor. Now they're plastic. They are plastic, but that doesn't stop it from it shattering and just being completely damaged. They fall, I watch it as the thing is shaking. The kids at this point are standing up and walking away, acting as if they weren't doing it. So as the thing falls and it smashes onto the floor, the kids are out of the way, and the GameStop employee is looking at me as if I'm the one that moved it and brought these down. And I'm like, I didn't touch it. And the GameStop employee was like, don't worry, hey man, it happens. And I'm like, I didn't do it. But I didn't have the heart to look at the dad and say, it was your kids. Your kids did it. But I was just like, you know what? If I was that father, there would have been, yeah, there would have been some yelling involved at least. But this father was, I think, pretty tame with his kids. You ever, I don't know. I don't have kids, but I see how some people, some parents, maybe they're just tired. They're just so exhausted from their kids being little hell raisers that they just have given up. But I've noticed some parents, they'll use the red light. And that's when they say that, trying to make their kids stop being hell raisers, but it doesn't do anything. I remember I was at the St. Louis Science Center, and these kids were just running up and down the halls, and the mom is just like, "Kids, red light, red light." I'm like, you know, if red light ain't gonna do anything, what's wrong with you? You need to be more strict than that. You know, you want to know what my mama or my dad would have done? They wouldn't be saying red light, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Everybody has their own way of parenting, but there's definitely not going to be no red light. There's definitely going to be a grabbing by the arm and say, stay with me. You just wait till we get home. Red light. Hey, please stop. Red light. Hey, red light. Yeah, okay. That's like, yeah. Think of somebody mugging you. Hey, red light. Yeah, okay. So that's my GameStop story. Don't bring your kids into a GameStop. They're gonna shove each other into a kiosk at some place where these collectible gaming crap's gonna fall and shatter, and then some poor guy's gonna get blamed for it because he just happens to be on the other side. Me. Anyways, moving onwards, went to GameStop, like I said, and then I went to a place called Five Below. Now, if you don't know, I went to a lot of places today. And before Five Below, I got to remember we went to a place called, um, it was like a home decor kind of place. Like, God, At Home. Yeah, it's a place called At Home, and there is Halloween stuff everywhere. Now, if you thought Hallmark having Christmas stuff out was bad, that is the ultimate, but it's Hallmark. What else are they going to sell throughout the year? Christmas in July. Bring out the ornaments, get ready. Buy the ornaments now so you're ready for Christmas time. That's Hallmark's whole deal. They had a banner up for chocolate strawberries as if it's still Valentine's Day time, but regardless. Uh, we get to At Home, and they have Halloween stuff up, and they have these huge skeletons you could put up in your front yard that are like, God only knows how tall. They look like they're 12 feet tall, and I'm like, man, that's awesome. I'd like to have that. Put that up in the yard, but yeah, nevertheless. We find some little decor things. Like one thing was for $20. I'm looking for a small, slim bookcase that I could put right next to this desk that I just built. So I could put my immediate books that I'm needing to read or items for upcoming videos within the next 2 weeks. So it's like my standby bookshelf that I need immediately. I don't have that right now, so I was looking for that, but At Home didn't have much of anything. So, anyways, we left there. I went to Five Below, and I looked around for stuff. And most of the time, I will always find something new at Five Below, whether it's candy or some fun, stupid toy, or whatever. And I really didn't find too much. And yeah, so I was looking at the candy, and it just seems like a lot of stuff is expired. Like I was looking at some of it, and I guess they don't go by the FIFO thing. And usually they're on their stuff, but I was looking, I was like, some of this stuff's expired. But anyways, I didn't buy too much from there. I bought like a charging cable for my new phone, and then I left there, and it was dinner time, and we went to Chili's, and I've become a fan of the Nashville hot mozzarella sticks. Now, if you haven't had the Chili's Nashville hot mozzarella sticks, they are absolutely amazing. You get the triple dipper appetizer, okay? You get the Southwestern egg rolls, and get 2 orders of 2 Nashville hot mozzarella sticks. You dip them in some ranch. It's crispy on the outside, gooey on the inside. The crispiness, breading of the outside is seasoned so well with that Nashville hot. It's not even hot, so don't get too like thinking, oh, it's all spicy and crazy. No, it's absolutely not. It's just good. It's like savory. It's salty, and the cheese can just pull forever. You dip it in that cool ranch, and it's the best, man. I sound like such a fat ass. But it's true, okay? It's all true. But so we got that as the appetizer. The wife got a quesadilla, and I got six chicken strip basket meal, which came with mac and cheese and fries. I felt like a true gamer. But I saw that you could take these chicken strips and have them hand dipped, hand tossed in the Nashville hot seasoning like they do with the mozzarella sticks. So we did that, and it was awesome. Like, I can never go back to regular chicken strips ever again. I got to have that Nashville hot thing in there. And that was awesome. I only finished 2 chicken strips, so I have 4 more waiting for me, and another Nashville hot mozzarella stick. So I kept one to the side, and that'll be tomorrow's lunch slash dinner. So I'm something to really look forward to. Sad, sad, man. Then I got home, put the stuff away that we got, and I'm like, I'm gonna go live tonight. I know I told a few people I was gonna go live tonight. I gotta hold up to that promise. So I started working on things, getting everything set up. Got this new stand here for the camera slash phone, and got that set up. I had some problems, so that's why I was a little later. But nevertheless, we are here. We made it, y'all, and I'm happy you guys are here. We got 2 more minutes before it turns into July 13th, 2025, here in small town USA. What is the weather like in small town USA? Well, it's mostly clear with a high of 76 degrees, a little cloudy. It was rainy this morning, but regardless, yes. What is next on the list? Fast food news. Let's get right into it. And we're going to talk all about. Excuse me. We're going to talk all about the snack wraps, the Mick snack wraps. All right. I'm gonna do some research here. Let's do this here. Man, that's that triple dipper really getting to me. All right, so they got a new section now of the snack wraps. So you got two options. The ranch snack wrap. Here's the product description for it. Not a drill, the ranch snack wrap is back. This fan favorite features a McCrispy strip topped with shredded cheese and shredded lettuce, all brought together with creamy ranch sauce and wrapped in a soft tortilla. It's 390 calories and blah, 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 blah. And there is just one other variation which has the spicy McChicken strip. Now, McDonald's was kind of smart with this, where the kill two birds with one stone kind of thing happening, where they first released the chicken strips on their own. Mass pandemonium. Ah, the chicken strips from McDonald's are back. Ah. And now they're like, we're going to bring back the snack wraps. And, I was excited, but here's the deal. The snack wraps that are out now is very crap. It's just chicken with some ranch and the spicy chicken. Now, if you want to go back to how the mixed snack wraps were before they were discontinued, when they were in their prime, their glory, it was a totally different ball game. I will get to that in a second. First off, Lekva writes, please do that unboxing of the Pepsi Fire that Maximus gave you. I need to see that. Well, I need to see that too. I haven't yet to receive the package yet. So, I've talked to Maximus a couple days ago, just on some other stuff. But yeah, when I get that, trust me, I will be doing an unboxing. I am about 4 unboxings behind. I have 4 boxes somewhere here in the studio that I need to unbox for videos. I just haven't had the time. I will do that very soon. I have a box that Maximus sent me before that I haven't even mentioned, but I think they are they are Pepsi vanilla oriented, which I will he has sent to me specifically for me to review. And he knows that I'm more of a collector than a reviewer. I like to preserve the stuff for all eternity. But for this, since he sent it to me, I will review it and drink it. So I got to do an unboxing of that, and I have a few more discontinued Mountain Dew flavors of stuff that I need to unbox as well. And when it comes to those unboxing videos, I want to, do my research and talk about it while I'm unboxing it, so the viewer has the most information and most entertaining time watching the unboxing. So as soon as I get it, you bet, Legva, I will be unboxing it and making a video of it for sure. For sure, dude. For sure. Now, back to the mixed snack wraps. I want to show you, or I want to talk to you about what there was when it came to the mixed snack wraps. The mixed snack wraps. The Let's take a look here. Um, we'll get into the whole history about this. The snack wrap is a menu item available at McDonald's in the United States, the UK, Canada, Europe, and Australia. It consists of 100% white meat chicken breast, shredded lettuce, cheddar jack cheese, blah, 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 blah. The concept of a McDonald's snack wrap originated and debuted in Poland in 2004. It was officially launched in the United States in 2006 and was initially only available with crispy chicken and ranch sauce. Now, that's still not peak mixed snack wrap time. In early 2007, the option to substitute for grilled chicken and or honey mustard sauce were made available in some markets. Salsa roja and or chipotle barbecue is also available. The snack wrap was developed as an attempt to create a new chicken item appealing to drive-through customers. The original wrap used the same meat as the Chicken Selects, which was a discontinued chicken strip from McDonald's, allowing restaurants to cook batches of the chicken more frequently and provide a fresher product to customers. The menu item was also introduced in order to take advantage of the growing demand for snack size or smaller portion options. In 2016, the snack wrap was officially discontinued in the United States as a result of underwhelming sales and time-consuming construction. Though individual franchises could still choose to sell them. However, as a result of menu simplification in 2022 due to the pandemic, the snack wrap was officially removed nationwide. Now, I want to say it's not talking about it. I was hoping it would bring this up, but maybe there was the other, the, damn it. Hang on. Because it wasn't the chicken snack wraps that I liked. There we go. It was this. Okay, there we go. That's what Daddy likes. Okay, so there was also the Big Mac snack wrap, and that is what I always ordered. And I want to say that was out in 2013, 2014, 2015, somewhere around there. And what it consisted of was basically a tortilla, a hamburger patty broken up like in half or into thirds, and it was like placed in like strips, like chicken strips were. It had Big Mac sauce, shredded lettuce, pickles, diced onions, and it had a slice of cheese in it as well, American cheese. And those were the best. They were cheap. You know, you could buy two or three of those, pay less than $5, and they would definitely fill you up. And man, that's what they need to bring back more than the standard ass chicken wraps. Like I could get a chicken wrap when I was in Morocco in 2023, the snack wraps or the wraps at McDonald's there. I mean, they're everywhere else, just not in America. It's just kind of like a normal thing, and I ordered one thinking, "Oh man, this is gonna be great," but it was underwhelming. You know, I had a full guy too. It was a big juicy one, you know, and it was just like, yeah, it's a chicken wrap. It's a piece of chicken wrapped up in a tortilla. It wasn't anything special. It didn't have any kind of McDonald's signature flair. And that's what you're looking at when you go to a McDonald's. You could get a wrap with chicken in it anywhere. So everyone having this crazy, hype and love for the snack wrap coming back, or the McWrap, or whatever they're calling it now, it's not that great of a thing. It's like they're bringing back. It would be like if they're just bringing back hash browns or something. It's like, yeah, all right, well, sure, whatever. Besides that, the thing I would love for them to bring back was the donut sticks that came out in 2019, which I ate quite a bit of, and I did have the channel up at this time, and I had a slight thought that I should have reviewed them, and I was almost on the verge of reviewing them, but I wasn't completely having this channel in full form, and that's one of my biggest regrets is not reviewing the McDonald's donut sticks when they still had them. They brought them back, but it was different. They gave you a different dipping sauce, but it was awesome. Chris Dreyer says Big Mac wrap snack wrap sounds good. The chicken ones were boring, and now they are back, and they are still kind of boring. Yes, what I just said. Didn't even read your comment, but yes, took the words right out of my mouth. Chris, good to see you, man. Hopefully you're doing well here. Oh, but yeah, so the snack wraps are back for what it is. I maybe I should review them, but I'm just like I want to review something interesting. Like if I were to review every new menu item that came out everywhere, like I one it's money, you know. Most of the reviews I do, I never recoup the money from when it comes to that. It's like I'll get 30 cents uh, per video when it comes to some review. And after all the views and the hype dies down, it's like, what did I make from this video? 20 cents. And, obviously it's not about making money, but, I want to at least break even so I could continue keeping the machine afloat instead of going in the red every single time when it comes to this stuff. So there's that. Anything else coming out that is interesting? Burger King is launching new Whopper based on customer requests. So there is the barbecue brisket Whopper, which features barbecue brisket, American cheese, sweet and golden barbecue sauce, lettuce, tomato, and flame grilled quarter pound beef patty. Little Caesars announces a major change to the menu. Little Caesars is doubling down on its reputation for the best value pizza chain by launching a nationwide more for $9.99 menu, packed with a mix and match options to appeal to families, budget conscious diners, and loyal fans. New pricing platform available exclusively online at participating locations launched on July 7th. They have favorites and newer items like the Fantastic 4-in-1 pizza and Crazy Puffs. The chain says each bundle includes at least two of its most popular menu items, with combinations ranging from two large classic pizzas to a pretzel crust pizza with crazy bread and crazy sauce. Now, I absolutely do love crazy bread. It's the only thing that I would buy from Little Caesars because I think their pizza has relatively sucked ever since they started the hot and ready kind of pizza line. But maybe this will make me want to try it again. I'm looking at the menu. They got the Crazy Puffs, which is basically like a mini pizza. It's like a little cupcake, just pizza form. With the sauce and cheese melted on top, and it's just dough as a cup, and you just eat that. The pretzel crust looks good, and you get two large classics for $9.99. But I just remember when I was a kid, going into Little Caesars, and they were like rectangular pizzas, and you get them. They were so hot, they'd sit on my lap and almost burn my legs how fresh and hot they were. And I was so excited because I remember they were actually really good. And I don't know what happened because they went out of business in my area like in the mid, or it was like late 90s. They went out of business. And then they came back in the mid 2000s, and they're just totally different with the hot and ready style of pizza. And I was just like, ugh. Ever since then, I like childhood nostalgia crushed. But maybe they're gonna try something new. Maybe I should go back and try Little Caesars again. Chris Dreyer says, I only went to Little Caesars for the mango Mountain Dew. Yes, I only went to Little Caesars for the pineapple Mountain Dew, or pineapple Pepsi, my bad. And that was about it. I tried to get the mango Mountain Dew this past summer, but they sold out. Like 3 times I rolled through that drive-through. Hey, do you have any of that Mountain Dew? Dude, hey. Hey, you got any Mountain Dew, bro? Nah, we ain't got no Mountain Dew. All right, bro. Yeah. Rolled right on through. Yeah. Chris Dreyer also says, I used to like the crazy bread. Now I think I am gluten intolerant. Well, that's sad to say. I haven't had the crazy bread in about 4 years, but I still remember last time I tried it, it was still good. But anyways, I got one. I actually went to the store and there was one. Yeah, I I think they were cracking down on a lot of people, or maybe not. I don't know. There's always that problem with scalpers now being so aware of like limited edition soda releases that they'll go and buy them all up and sell them on eBay. It's absolutely trash. I'm not a fan of scalpers. Never have been ever since back in the day when I collected toys as a kid, because you just have these dudes that their whole entire lives is to just kind of circle stores like hawks and wait for the new stuff to release, and then they caw, 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 pick up everything, buy as much as they can, and go back and spend the rest of the day listing it all on eBay. Sold out day one. You could buy it here, one can, $20, $30 shipping and handling. And I was like, and I refuse. I would much rather not review it and go without that soda than spend any amount of money that's overpriced to any of those scalpers. But, anyways, yeah. Regardless, let's move on to the next piece of fast food news. McDonald's announces breakfast menu change. Is it actually going to be good? Let's see. McDonald's has announced a limited time addition to its U.S. breakfast menu, launching a spicy McMuffin lineup. Okay. It debuted on this past Tuesday at participating restaurants. The new menu item includes the spicy McMuffin, spicy sausage McMuffin, and spicy sausage McMuffin with egg. I remember this coming out. It's coinciding with the 50th anniversary of the Egg McMuffin, the sandwich credited with ushering in the chain's now famed breakfast service. Why it matters, breakfast menus have become a crucial battleground for fast food brands, with U.S. consumers increasingly seeking novel flavors and limited time options. Now, I, ugh, I don't even want to, like, why, I just remember, like, nothing against the McMuffin. I love me a good Egg McMuffin every once in a while. Do not get me wrong. But it had to deal with this one lady on the radio. And this is how I learned about this. I was driving, and obviously this lady came on and she was talking about the spicy Egg McMuffin. And she says, oh no, this is going to be bad news for me because now my husband, or it's going to be good news for my husband because he'll have a reason to go to McDonald's, but bad news for me because now he'll be in the bathroom stinking it up. And I just had this image of this lady's husband. The way she talked, the tone of her voice, I could just imagine what her husband looks like. And it's the average football, Buffalo Wild Wings, beer drinking type of dude. You know, the type of dude that is kind of the big, gumpy but lovable kind of guy, rather stupid, and he's just like, really stinking up this bathroom, big hairy body, and I'm like, oh, why why did you put that image in my head, lady on the radio? Thank you so much for this. Al Bundy? No, I'm thinking more of like a human version of the father from the dinosaurs show from the 90s. That's what I'm thinking of. Or maybe Paul Blart Mall Cop. What's his name? The guy from Kings and Queens? Kings of Queens? King of Queens? That guy. Uh, anyways, it's like don't put that in my head. I got a vivid imagination. You just tell me a little bit, and my brain will go wild. Uh, let's see. Okay, so here's another one. This is the final one news story here. KFC is no longer in the top three U.S. chicken chains. Believable. Before we even read this, I want to say believable. Why? Well, there are so many of these places now that are just simply chicken strip places. Um, I was down south and I saw like there was a place called something Magoo's. I don't know if it was, I forgot, it was Creepy Magoo's or Crawlin' Magoo's or something. And it was set up much like how a Raising Cane's chicken finger place is. Simple menu. What do they have? Chicken fingers, coleslaw, crinkle cut fries, Texas toast. What does Zaxby's have? This is the same thing. A special little sauce to dip the things in. And then there's this Magoo place. Like all of these popping. The chicken strip like surge is happening. Why? It's because there are far more gamers out there. You know, that's why Mountain Dew is blowing up. What is gamer food? Chicken strips, mac and cheese, fries, loads of ketchup, Mountain Dew, and that's it. You know, maybe every once in a while, a little statue figurine of a lovely lady that they could place up on their wall or something. But that I could see why. I could definitely see why that is the case. But let's read deeper into this. KFC is a long established force in the American fast food chicken market, has been surpassed by popularity by a rising competitor and no longer ranks. Let's see. Here we go. As reported by CNBC on Monday, Louisiana based fast food chain Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers has overtaken KFC in annual U.S. sales, now trailing only Chick fil A and Popeyes. So, Raising Cane saw sales of 5.1 billion last year, over 900 restaurants, more than doubling its sales from 2021. And they also have places and locations in Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. Uh, they have the crinkle cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and the signature Cane's sauce. And I don't need to even read the rest of this. Yeah, we all knew it. Before I even read that, I already said, yeah, Raising Cane's. Now, the thing is, also, the thing that also hurts KFC is I literally went to KFC the other day, went through the drive through. Hi, welcome to KFC. You know, order when you're ready. Okay, thank you. Just give me a second here. I'm looking at the board. You could get a bucket of chicken and like a meal or whatever with like the two sides and the biscuits and the bucket of chicken, which is like a 12 count or something. And it was like $40. It was absolutely insane. It was $40 for this. That's you could go and bread your own chicken, buy your own chicken parts, your own meat, and do that and get it less. Now, yeah, it is KFC, but fast food is created for a cheap meal. That's the whole basis of the fast food, you know, industry. Cheap, fast, easy. You know, and here they are treating, you know, really kind of pricing themselves out of business as opposed to you go to Raising Cane's or whatever. Yeah, it's still fairly expensive. It's definitely you're paying more than $10 when you go to Raising Cane's for yourself. But the amount of food that you get definitely outweighs going to KFC and spending, you know, more. So, I can see why KFC is failing. They need to come up with a new strategy, otherwise they will fail. You know, adapt to what's happening, or you know, you're gonna be falling back in the back. I mean, that's what McDonald's has been having a problem with recently, and they're doing desperate, desperate grabs trying to stay relevant with these crappy ass uh, celebrity meals. It's the rapper meal. Oh, okay. What does the rapper enjoy eating? He drinks Sprite and he eats a quarter pounder with cheese, but there's a little extra dab of barbecue sauce on it. Wow, okay, yeah, crazy. That's really gonna bring in the Zoomers and the new generation. No, it, it isn't. So I'm just gonna do one more sweep here. Uh, Apparently there was a nationwide boycott for McDonald's in June. Uh, let's look at this. This is something wacky. A bride loves McDonald's, so she knew just she what to do on her wedding day. A couple has gone viral for adding a McDonald's themed twist to their recent wedding, and their guests loved it. Emily Zimmerman from Chicago recently married her now husband, DJ, not me, in Wisconsin. Near the end of the night, they wanted to give their guests an energy boost after hours of dancing and socializing. And Zimmerman, who works in marketing for McDonald's, knew exactly what to do. Because I work for McDonald's corporate, I always knew I wanted to have a late night snack. So she shared a snippet of her big day on TikTok. Oh, God. So she had a buffet style setup of McDonald's stuff. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We are done with that. All right. Fast food news. There you go. Let's close it out now. Soda news. Soda news, it's kind of been dry recently. There's only two more releases that should be coming out very soon that are like, they're two major releases. There are a few other ones. Chris Dreyer here is saying there are two sodas this summer I am looking forward to: Verner's Boston Cooler and Kool-Aid sodas. Now, those are interesting. I want to look up the Verner's Boston Cooler. The thing that I am imagining here is that it is a cream soda style thing, but maybe I am wrong. Boston Cooler, let's see. It's a classic Detroit beverage made by blending Verner's ginger ale and vanilla ice cream, similar to a float. Popular blend in Detroit. It's funny. It's like Detroit. They should just call it Detroit Cooler. Sanders stores in Michigan are known for serving Boston Coolers and Verner's floats. Many ice cream shops and restaurants in Detroit area and other parts of Michigan also serve them. Okay, so Verner's revives a Michigan classic for a limited time. Verner's trademarked Boston Coolers for its ginger ale ice cream bar. By the 1970s, it became synonymous. Okay, so, all right. A little bit of history with that. So, yeah, I'd like to try that myself. Hopefully, I could get it in my area. Um, but taking a look, let's see, upcoming sodas here. There really isn't much. Uh, all the stuff that we have seen, we've already tried. The Coca-Cola Orange Cream, the Dr. Pepper Blackberry, the Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream, the Mountain Dew Dragon Fruit, Mountain Dew Summer Freeze, the Sprite Plus Tea, the 7 Up Tropical, and here in August. So let's look forward to this. We're in July. Next month is the probably the biggest highlight of soda releases this year. And it comes from an unsuspecting brand. This is A&W root beer, but it's a twist. It's A&W Ice Cream Sundae, and it's in a can, okay? So get this. It's a root beer flavored, inspired by vanilla ice cream and fudge, So it's not just like a vanilla root beer. You could already kind of taste vanilla in root beer anyways. You could get the cream soda A&W, but this also has a fudge, so like a chocolate, vanilla, and root beer kind of frothy kind of taste to it as well, as if it's like an ice cream sundae type of deal. Now, that is the only thing on the agenda that I am really looking forward to. Um, Besides that, there last year they were really throwing everything out there, and I think stuff has slowed down because Coca-Cola has dropped their line of uh, Coca-Cola Creations flavors. But there is also one other thing that will be coming out after this release, this A&W Hot Fudge Sundae, which will be not Mountain Dew Voodoo, but it's just going to be it's going to be the predecessor to the Mountain Dew flavors. It's going to be Mountain Dew Trolley Gummy flavor. So it's a collab Mountain Dew is having with the Trolley Gummy candy, and it's just going to be Mountain Dew that has a candy flavor to it, much like how all of the Voodoos the past 6 years since 2019 were. But they're dropping the voodoo mystery flavor gimmick that they did have with that, where it's like, ooh, drink this, and by the end of October, you get to know what trick or treat candy themed flavor this voodoo soda is. Now they decided to just stop all that and collab with a company. Just do some cross promotion, make the brands beefier and better. And hey, I help you out, you help me out. We'll make this fun little soda and all that. So the fun of these voodoo flavors are gone because it's not a mystery anymore of what it is. So that will be releasing in September at some point. So look out for the Mountain Dew Trolley. I don't know exactly what they're going to be calling it. Mountain Dew X Trolley Gummy flavored soda. But that's going to be the other one I'm going to be looking out for. That sounds actually decent. So those are the two big heavy hitters this year I'm looking forward to is that. Now, I really want to know what Pepsi is going to do with the Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream because that is just trash. I feel like it's already discontinued, but I still see it every once in a while. It's kind of like how Pepsi Nitro is. It just hung on for quite a while, but then it finally got killed. I don't know. They say it's a permanent flavor. They said it was, but I don't see it hanging out for too much longer. But anyways, Chris Dreyer says it's only available in Michigan, I think. Yes, gonna get that with Boston Coolers. Sounds good, though. I haven't seen it lately, actually. Yeah, I mean, so Pepsi has dropped the ball this year, really, as far as flavors. I mean, their last big, really nice flavor that was permanent was Pepsi Mango. And ever since then, like the soda shop flavors were pretty stale from what I remember. I'm going to review those officially for the channel soon because I have a few cans. But besides that, yeah, it's yeah. So that is your upcoming soda news, and I want to get into one more thing, and it's interesting to me at least, and it is what the worst movie, or at least the worst performing movie ever was. And the answer is Zizix Road from 2006. Now, Zizix Road actually starred some well known names Katherine Heigl, Tom Sizemore, Leo Grillo. And how much did this movie in the box office gross? $30. $30. And the reason for that is because it was released in only one theater. It was in Dallas, Texas. And it was in the theater for 6 days and only played once per day. It was just to fulfill the Screen Actors Guild requirements, and only 6 tickets were sold. One was refunded. So the actual net total, they still counted that, but once it was bought, hey, that's the result. But it was returned, so it actually only netted $20. So it also says here the extremely limited release was never meant for an actual real audience. It was a loophole to allow international and DVD sales, which later it earned over $1 million. So there you go. Hey, if at first it doesn't do well, it only makes $20 to $30 in the theater. Don't trash it. It'll make $1 million later. Um, so I want to look deeper into this. The Zizix Road, it's spelled Zyzzyx, all one word, road. And I gotta watch this. It was directed, written, and produced by John Penny. And let's read the synopsis. It's a thriller. Gained notoriety from its gross ticket sales of only $30 on its opening run during its initial limited release. Uh, and then there is the synopsis. Grant, a philandering accountant, goes to Las Vegas on a business trip and encounters a seductress, Marissa, and her jealous ex boyfriend, Joey. Joey attacks them, and Grant and Marissa in- incap- incapacitate Joey. Why couldn't I have read that word any better? I don't know. Believing they have killed him, they decided to bury him along the eponymous Zizix Road, a rural road off Interstate 15 in California's Mojave Desert. We see Grant has a bump on his head and is hallucinating after digging a grave. Grant and Marissa return to find Joey missing from the trunk of Grant's car. Grant chases Joey through the desert with a shovel, and when he finds him hidden in an abandoned mine, Joey tells Grant he wasn't trying to kill Grant, he was trying to kill Marissa because she's actually a succubus. However, that is revealed to be a hallucination as well. So, principal photography was in the summer of 2005, lasted 18 days. And yeah, let's take a look. February 25th to March 2nd, 2006, Zizix Road was shown once a day at noon at the Highland Park Village Theater in Dallas, Texas, in one auditorium rented by the producers for $1,000. The limited release was deliberate. Grillo was uninterested in releasing the film domestically until it underwent foreign distribution, but the film needed to fulfill the U.S. release obligation required for low-budget films. Those with budgets less than 2.5 million that are not for the direct-to-video market. The strategy had the side effect of making it at the time the lowest grossing film in history. And let's see. Two tickets were refunded personally by the film's makeup artist who saw the film with a friend. The okay, yeah. Zizix Road was released on DVD in 23 countries, including Bulgaria, Indonesia, and Portugal. By the end of 2006, it had earned $368,000. In the summer of 2012, 6 years after its original release, Go Digital released the film domestically in digital format because of its better performance internationally. It was released on DVD in North America in September of 2010. In November 2024, the film was released on Ultra HD Blu ray under the MVD Entertainment Group. That is interesting. I do want to look into that. Uh, there's actually, they say Zizix Road was beat as the lowest grossing thing a few years later, and this is titled The Worst Movie Ever. I need to take a look at this here. It's an action comedy. What happened here? Uh, it premiered uh, in Ohio July 8th, 2011. It was written, produced by some guy named Glenn. The film's director has stated that the low gross was not intended as a publicity stunt, but resulted in the film being scheduled to screen as part of the theater's monthly midnight screenings and through problems in stirring interest for the theatrical release. This movie, now this is the movie. It grossed only $11. So it's actually titled "The Worst Movie Ever!" Exclamation point. Uh, Released July 8th, 2011. And yeah, there you go. $11. Absolutely insane. Okay, so moving on to the final thing. I want to move these out of the way because we are not talking about those anymore. The star of the show. Glad to have you all with me still. We are moving to the rare Japanese Pepsi flavors that I do have here. Let's start with this bad boy. So this is Pepsi Carnival. This was released in 2007, I want to say, or it says 02. It looks so older, but yeah, this was probably 2002. Pepsi Carnival. This is a tropical flavor of Pepsi. Came out in Japan for a limited time. This is an excuse me, an aluminum type of bottle that you seal with the cap. Very cool. I only seen one other auction that had this bottle. I was going to buy it, but I just didn't get to it in time. I didn't bid on it. Miss out on it, but at least I have the one. I always want to have two of everything, but regardless. Here is Pepsi Shiso. It's a green kind of flavor of Pepsi. Green flavor. Japanese refreshing flavor. Shiso is a popular flavor in Japan, and this was released in 2011 for a limited time in the summertime. So there you go with that. Let me set all these down here. Next up is the classic. Everybody loves this one. Everybody, it's just because it just looks so cool. Uh, yeah, Chris Dreyer. Yes, it is empty. Yes. Uh, Sad to say. I wish I did have a full bottle of Pepsi Carnival, but nevertheless, here is Pepsi Ice Cucumber. Let me take a look. This came out during the spring of 2011 in Japan. So, what does it taste like? A minty cucumber kind of Pepsi. I just love the look of that one. It's a good one. This isn't Japanese or Asian or anything from Asia, but here's Pepsi Clear once again. Came out during the winter time of 2005, only in Mexico. And as I have looked at the ingredients, this is the final uh, version and release of the OG Crystal Pepsi formula from the 90s. They didn't reformulate it; they just released it in Mexico. So Mexico got a nice taste of Crystal Pepsi, just renamed Pepsi Clear. Now, since we are getting into Asian Pepsi flavors, let's take it back to Pepsi Twist. Everybody loves this flavor. It was taken for granted when it was out. I definitely did, and I regret it. But Pepsi Twist had a lemon kind of zing to it. And here's a full bottle of the American release. This is from 2003. So there's that. But if you are still wanting a Pepsi Twist, here is a Pepsi Twist from China. Now, it's not exactly the same, as this whole bottle has 45 calories. Sammy Witt, yeah. There was a time I never seen these before. Now it's every day I go in here to review something and I'm like, oh, hi. Hi, weird Pepsi flavors. How are you today? But yeah, regardless, you'll go to China, you'll see Pepsi Twist, but it's not the same as we remember in the States. It has a different formula to it, and it's just kind of like, so close, but yet so far away. So that is a little heartbreaking truth about Pepsi Twist. If someone comes at you and says, "You miss Pepsi Twists? Well, you could get it in China." No, you can't. Not like the kind we did have in the U.S. years ago. Okay, so just okay. Chris Dreyer. If you ever need some frequent flyer miles to go get sodas in Japan, I got a lot of miles. Chris, don't tempt me with a good time. I definitely will take advantage of that. I would love that. It'd probably be the only time I would be able to go to Japan. That'd be badass, dude. At the time, I worked at a restaurant, so I just put lemon in my Pepsi. Yeah, I mean, you could do that too, but there was something about that actual formula made in PepsiCo that I remember was really good. It contains 1% juice, the OG. But, anyways, I digress. I have about 4 bottles of this. This is Pepsi Sakura. This came out in Japan, obviously, 2016, and it is cherry blossom flavored Pepsi. Now, it used to be pink. It still has somewhat of a pinkish hue, but yeah, it has since kind of cleared out like a lot of Crystal Pepsi. It kind of looks like that. But yeah, I have like 4 bottles of this. I bought this from a guy actually on eBay, and I said, "Oh, this is so awesome, dude! I finally got some Pepsi Sakura, and I'm gonna show them on YouTube." And I gave him a link to my thing, and he replied back saying, "Oh, you do YouTube too? Yeah, I used to do that game." I never replied back. I didn't ask him, "Oh, you used to? Well, what happens after YouTube? What happened?" I don't think he got that far. I think he tried to do something, but uh, from what I could see, he was one of those like gamer guys. I think he just did like Minecraft tutorials or something. So, anyways, tried to do some Japanese kind of content on the side. Next one up here is Pepsi Blue Hawaii. Now, this is a pineapple and lemon flavor, Japanese release. This one took forever to find. This is a really hard one to find. It I finally got this one a couple months ago in the mail, and this came from the same guy that Maximus the Fourth found a lot of rare stuff. So it was like him and me buying certain things, and he was such a sweetheart when he saw some things that I knew he knew I needed. He'd be like, "Hey, bro, I'm not gonna buy this. Yeah, I know you need that for your collection. Go ahead, take it." I'm like, "Thank you so much, dude." Even though I was still following the seller, there was times when I'd be away from my phone, I wouldn't see something get posted, so I couldn't, get it right away. So he was looking out for me, and this was from that same seller. The guy was selling off like all of his stuff, so this is a good one. Uh, when did this one? 2011. Yeah, so 2011. This one came out. Here's just some normal ones, but the Pepsi from Japan, these big cola flavors, it's good because it's like made with a more bolder cola flavor. So don't just look at this and think, "Oh, it's just Pepsi from Japan." It's the same thing, right? No, I recently reviewed this and I really thought it was the same thing myself, but do not get it twisted. It literally says right here in English, Pepsi Nama is cola made with including freshly spice produced process. Its taste gives super refreshing. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, it's kind of choppily translated. But regardless, it's made in a different way, and the spices are more bold and present. It's kind of like this one here too. It's a smaller version of it. Pepsi Japan Cola. Here are some weird ones that were made recently. They're Pepsi Zero flavors. Um, so we'll start with this one. Let's see. This came out in 2023. This is Pepsi Zero Mint. So this was made to eat and pair with the special noodles from Japan, or it's a certain type of noodle from Japan. So you drink this with it, it would pair well. And they actually came with a special pack of noodles when you buy the soda here. So it's this, it has Pepsi on it. So it's like, who would have thought? You'd maybe take a look at this and be like, is it Pepsi flavored noodles? It's pretty crazy. So I see snowflakes here, so this came out during the winter time. Yeah, 2023. So for the 2023 season, uh, or 2022 actually. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, 2023. Here is Pepsi Zero. What did they call this? I can't remember what it was exactly called, but anyways, this was formulated to eat with some greasy style of chicken that they make in Japan, and it's clear too. So you could kind of say this is Crystal Pepsi, but not really. It's clear because of its purpose to be like a clear cutting kind of soda after eating some greasy chicken in Japan. So there is that. Don't get it twisted. Don't look at this and think it's fried chicken flavored Pepsi. It really isn't. But very cool to see a Pepsi bottle with chicken on it. Because it would make a fat man like me definitely think different. Okay, so here's the other one that is similar to all the others. This is just Pepsi Zero Lemon with the chicken. So there you go. There's that one. Sammy Witt. Which one's the rarest? They vary, but I whew. I'm trying to think what is on this table. When it comes to rarest, I gotta think about what was the hardest one to find. And I gotta say it's a tie between Pepsi Red right here. I'll just show you this one as we go along. This one came out in 2011. It came alongside Pepsi Gold, which Pepsi Gold and Pepsi Red had a ginger taste to it, but Pepsi Gold had more of a milder ginger taste, and Pepsi Red had a much more fiery ginger taste. So this one's I only seen one on eBay, so that's what makes this rare. It's also tied with the where are we at? The Blue Hawaii as well. That one's pretty rare. I actually I think I have another bottle of ice cucumber. So even though this looks really cool, it's a cool flavor. I think I do have another bottle somewhere. I'll have to look. I feel like I have two bottles of this. So this one's not that rare compared, you know. So also this one, here you go. This is Pepsi Azuki. And this is a, a bean kind of flavor. It's yeah, a bean, sweet bean kind of flavor of Pepsi that is available in Japan. When did this come out? This came out in '04. It looks like, or '09. I can't, because the dates on here are always kind of, messy. So I think it was it's either '04 or '09. I want to go with '09 with that one. So I wish I liked sodas back when I went to Japan. Yeah, man, that would have been awesome. You could have this whole library of rare soda reviews on your channel. It would have been badass. I'd just be rewatching them all day. So here we go. This is Pepsi Cream Soda, and this came out in 2021, late 2021. So it's foggy, kind of cool looking Pepsi that was cream soda flavored. I have like 4 bottles of this, and I never got the chance to try them. And I don't know if I should try them now. I should just keep them sealed. Next up is, I saw plenty of these. Now they're getting very rare. This is Pepsi Salt and Lychee. And when did this, I think this is, yeah, 2000, the end of 2000. So Yeah, there you go. Chris Maximus sent me one. Which one did he send you? Did he send you the cream soda? Yeah, I think it's the cream soda because some of those are still fairly plentiful. You could find those easy. I like the designs compared to the ones in America. Sammy says, "Yeah, I do too. Just how the bottles are more sleek looking and everything. The bottles here are kind of like, yeah, it's like got a good grip on the one bottom part, but these just look, yeah, they're just more aesthetically pleasing. That is for sure. 100% agree with you here. Let me clear the room here for the new contenders. Here is Pepsi Caramel Crunch. So, it's a very sweet caramely style of flavor of Pepsi. And this one came out is it printed anywhere? Is it carved into the thing? Sometimes they carve it into the cap and you could tell. No, I let's see here. That is so weird. I can't. I know that this probably had to come out like in 2020 or 2019, somewhere like that. So, there's that one. Here is another one, Pepsi Pineapple, and this came out in 2019. Yeah, 2019. So Pepsi Pineapple, the Japan Cola formula probably tasted a whole lot nicer than the one that was released here in the U.S. Probably much more bolder. Um, this one is Pepsi Cinnamon. Yeah, special cinnamon kind of deal. Uh, Trying to think, was there another one like this? No. Okay, yeah, so this came out in late 2020, and why it's special is because they put out this line of dietary colas as well, so that's why it's a special thing. 0 calories, uh, and that is that. Next up is I reviewed this on the channel. I absolutely loved it. It's so weird, wild, and crazy, and actually tasted good with all of the different flavors in here. It's Pepsi Black Cherry Chocolate Gummy flavor. So just imagine all of those flavors mixed together. You got like a candy, chocolate, a bold black cherry sweet taste with it. Yeah, it was definitely good. So I got a bottle of that. Here are some I had never featured yet on the channel yet. Now, there's a lot I haven't showed, but here's a one called Pepsi Sparkling Christmas, which is like a sparkling kind of grape flavor, a soda that was released. Great, the date was rubbed off on this. I want to say this was probably 2019, 2020 style. And I bought this from an import store actually online, and they were going fairly cheap. They were like clearance style for $3, but I just bought one. I don't know why I didn't buy more, but now I can't find them anywhere. Anyways, there's Pepsi Sparkling Christmas. Here's another one I got from the same import store. This is Pepsi J Cola Midnight, and this was for like the New Year's kind of deal, and it's grape flavored. Just Pepsi, basically. Japan and Joy Cola. Pepsi Midnight. Okay. Here's another Pepsi special. This is just your average general Pepsi special, zero cola flavor. Comes in a nice gold thing. I don't think this is a limited edition release or anything, but it's still cool. Something different it's just another variation that I gotta have in the collection. So this came out, the date on here is July 21st, 2021. There's that bad boy. Let's get into the Pepsi Whites. rather crazy type of deal. We'll start with this one from 2009. So Pepsi White. This one took a very long time. This is probably tying with one of the rare ones. Pepsi White, it's Pepsi and yogurt flavor. Yogurt is a very popular flavor outside the US when it comes to drinks and such. Especially very sour, bitter yogurt drinks. It's something you have when you have dinner. You eat some food, you slug that down. Not to really cleanse anything, but it's just a nice accompaniment. Accompaniment. But anyways, there was Pepsi White that came out in 2009, and then there was a different version of Pepsi White. It was Pepsi White Cola, and this basically was just Pepsi that was white, foggy as you see, but with a citrus kind of taste to it. So that's the only variation. And as you see, if you could zoom in or whatever, or see, there are like Christmas and winter themed designs on the bottle there. So that's how you know it coincides. This one was released for the 2015 winter season. So, ooh, I've been live streaming for quite a while. My voice is getting a little choppy. Oh my god. I'm fine though. Don't worry too much, okay? All right. So these two are the same. This is Pepsi Strong Zero. And I want to say 2016, yeah, that sounds about right. So 2016, this came out for the Batman versus Superman. So you gotta have both. You gotta have this was a Superman and Batman kind of deal. I mean, they're on both, just the logos over each one differently there. So that is Pepsi Strong Zero. And as you will see, like a lot of Japanese flavors, they're very health conscious, but they go the wrong way with zero sugar stuff and uh, artificial sweeteners. It's not the best way to go about it. But let's move some of these up. All right, next up we've got Japan Cola Pepsi Orange. So Pepsi Orange, and this came out in 2020. So I've recently seen that China has released Pepsi Orange Zero Sugar, which I'm not a fan of zero sugar, but I mean I just may buy a can of it just to try it and see what it tastes like an orange Pepsi. Sounds pretty cool. Here's a good one. This is Pepsi Salty Watermelon. This is one of the more interesting flavors that I've ever seen. And I absolutely just love the packaging. It just looks absolutely beautiful. Perfect for summertime. And salty watermelon is just a flavor that the Japanese, I guess, really love. They put it in Pepsi form. This came out in 2012 and looks very fantastic and awesome. All right, we just got a few more Pepsi flavors here. Let's move all of these up. 1 second. There we go. I should bring my cat in for as an assistant. But anyways, any One Piece fans out there, I have no idea about the cartoon, but if it's good enough to be a part of a Pepsi thing, hey, I guess it has to. But here's a release where you get Pepsi Next Zero, which I didn't have this version. Pepsi Next included with this little figurine from One Piece here. And yeah, this is just another dietary thing. I think Pepsi Next was more of a high caffeine flavored soda that was zero sugar. So it's kind of like a Pepsi Zero here. Who is the figure? Um, I'm not sure. Viking. I don't know what his name on the back here is in Japanese, so I am not sure. So if you could figure out who that guy is there, Chris, there you go. When did this come out? Let me take a look. Is there a date on here? No, there is not. But I want to say, judging, probably 2015, 2016. Could be wrong about that, but can I show it better, Chris? Yeah, here, I'll try. I'll do my best. Trying to focus with this new thing, since I'm on a delay. Let's see. Are we focusing? Are we focusing? Let me tilt it so the reflection. He's blonde, has a cape. Yeah, hopefully that helps. Anyways. Oh, we are down to the final three here. We will start with Pepsi Mont Blanc. This came out during the winter time of 2010. It was a festive kind of thing. It was a hazelnut or maybe a chestnut. Maybe, yeah. No, it was a hazelnut warm kind of Pepsi flavor just for the holidays. And here is Pepsi Halloween. And Pepsi Halloween was like a strawberry shortcake kind of taste of Pepsi. And yeah, basically that's all it was. Limited edition, 2017 release. And I swear there was one I grabbed, but did I put it back? Hang on one second. There's one I'm missing that I know I need to get. Where are you? Where are you? Where is she? Rachel? Where is she? Rachel. Oh, Rachel. Oh. I swear I said it somewhere. Well, anyways. There is an empty bottle of it, but I know I have a full bottle somewhere. I'm coming back, guys. Don't leave me. Please don't. Okay, so unless I did mention it, I don't think I did, yeah. So here we go. This is Pepsi Christmas Cola. I have a full bottle somewhere, but I do have this empty bottle too, just for collecting purposes. And this also too did have a strawberry shortcake taste to it, or a strawberry milk taste cola. And the what it looked like was like a foggy white, much like the Pepsi White Cola did. So there is that. And the final Pepsi I'm going to show you, I think this is from Iraq. Let me take a look here. Or Kuwait. Iraq or Kuwait? I'm not sure. Yeah, or Qatar. But it's anyways, it has Arabic on it, and this is Pepsi Grape. Now I've like, of course there is like the what I just shown you, the Pepsi Midnight and all the weird Japanese colas and all that stuff, but this is just your standard Pepsi Grape, and it's pretty cool. It was put out for a promotion, I think for soccer or something, and it's a little tiny itty bitty bottle. And it's pretty cool. I've never seen another bottle like this or anywhere on eBay or whatever. And yeah, I just had to have it. So, Pepsi Grape. Very weird, very wild, very cool. Little itty bitty guy. I do like this is the one thing they do have written in English on here. It says this material may be having a negative effect on activity and concentration in children. At least they're throwing that out there. But, anyways, that is it, guys. I'm glad you hung around and stayed with me for the uh, big old Japanese rare soda collection. There's a few more that are just. Didn't you pop up right in front of me? What the hell? What the hell? I was searching in this shelf altogether and it popped up out of nowhere. It was like tricking me. It was like, I'm hiding. Then it just pops out. Here you go. Here's a sealed bottle of Pepsi Christmas Cola. Why'd you do that to me, bro? Come on now. Anyways, yeah, that is it. Thank you guys for watching. This live stream, if you missed it and you're just tuning in, you can rewatch it. I'll put chapters in, so if you want to skip through all the rambling and trash I was talking about earlier, you just want to get to the goods, I will leave that so you can watch it later. Anyways, man, it's almost 1 o'clock here. Oh, it's passing, Jesus. It's 1:07 here in small town USA. Let's take a look at the weather. Let's take a look at the weather right here, right now. All right, boys. Why are we in Michigan? Okay. Uh, we need your small town USA weather forecast, okay? All right. So the forecast for today is going to be thunderstorms, high of 83, low of 69. Monday, showers. Tuesday, showers. Wednesday, showers. Thursday, showers, partly cloudy. Friday, partly cloudy. Saturday, partly cloudy. And Sunday, next week, partly cloudy. With highs in the 80s, lower 80s in Thursday and Friday. Back to 90 on Saturday and 88 on Sunday for the highs. Thank you. I am your weatherman for Small Town USA, DJ Glowing Ice. And that is it. Chris Dreyer and everybody else watching, have a very, very nice evening. A very happy early Sunday. I'm glad to be a part of your Sunday morning. However, you want to celebrate it, it's up to you. And that is it. I will see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for subscribing if you have. Thanks for liking me and supporting me. And even if it's just watching the videos occasionally, I really do appreciate it. It, keeps me motivated. I always say, though, the best motivation is just from your own drive and your own uh, plan that you have in your head. But it always helps to have people say, hey, that's awesome, dude. Keep up the good work, or give me a little click like. It always helps. Or just, sharing the videos too. That's always cool. So I have this idea in my head every time I get the idea to wish for something. I'm always thinking, 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Will I get there? Absolute pipe dream. But you never know. Things could happen. I never expected this channel to have more than 100 subscribers back in the day. And look at me now. Anyways, thank you guys for everything, supporting me, watching, all that good stuff. Have a great rest of the day, week, and I will see you next time very soon in a video later on today in the morning. Okay. See ya, Chris. Thanks. I hope I get it. I hope so. We'll see. See you guys. Peace out. Have a good one. Be safe. Bye bye. Oh, gotta close it now.